Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me as always is Vivek Iyer. Well, we are back above the 24,700 mark. Yes, but Nifty did slip into the red. It's been quite choppy actually. We saw that 100-point fall from the highs. Now we are seeing a 50-point gain. Midcaps too have fallen. They were outperforming at a point in time. But yes, there is a swift recovery which is on the cards as well.
Good afternoon, Sonal. Absolutely right. Given the fact that this expiry day, a certain amount of volatility was expected, but still, market's been very, very choppy in today's trading session. Well, we have a lot lined up on the show. Let's start off with the top headlines. Markets off morning highs recover from the day's low. PSU banks, oil and gas, along with realty gains, while private banks and consumer durables trade weak.
Midcap index is in focus. It is up around 300 points, but it's down around 300 points from the day's high. Atlanta Electrical, Acme Solar and Bandhan Bank among gainers, while Astra Micro is the top loser. Advanced decline ratio currently at 1:1 on the NSE.
Kotak gains after White House says that countries with existing trade deals with USA will be exempt from pharma tariffs. EU-made drug exports to US would continue to attract only a 15% tariff.
The Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas flags low valuation of enterprises under its wing, promises performance-linked pay for top execs, rules out levies like windfall taxes, promises price stability and value unlocking via divestment.
Well, mid-cap radar and quite a few of the mid-cap stocks in trade today are doing quite well. Have a look at Sammaan Capital. This particular stock, came out of the F&O ban for today's trading session. That stock is near the day's highest point, high by almost 11% and doing very well. On the other hand, a name like PG Electroplast, that particular stock has cooled off significantly near the day's lowest point, almost 3.5% lower. The entire PSU basket, especially the oil and gas pack, is doing quite well. GAIL has moved up to the high point of the day, almost higher by 2.3%. Even the OMC pack is doing quite well in the session. So those stocks too, especially HP, BP and IOC, all three of these names are doing quite well. But this is our special segment, Mid-Cap Movers. Sonal, let's hop across to the wall to take us to the mid-caps that are moving around in the session.
Okay, interesting days for mid-caps. We did see that fall, and look at the chart. There is a swift recovery from the lows as well. So a couple of stocks which are on my radar as we speak. The NSE advanced decline ratio absolutely flat right now, but we do have gainers in form of Stalin India Fluorochemicals up 10%. Sammaan Capital out of F&O ban is seeing gains of around 11%. Atlanta Electricals is up 9%. We have Supreme Petro as well seeing gains of around 9%. Some of these new listings are doing well today. So GK Energy is the other one, of course, up around 7%. We have Paradeep Phosphates on commissioning of that capacity, which is seeing gains of 6.5%. Dr. Agrawal's Health is the other one. It has come up from the highs, but still seeing gains of around 2%. On the losing side, we have Euro Pratik Sales. This stock is a recent listing, is down 6.5%. Jaiswal Neco, One MobiKwik continues to come on the radar. It did see that spike, now back again at the lows of the day. Sigachi actually was in the red for a bit when I spotted the stock, but now back again in the green. Absolutely flat. But yes, these are some stocks on our radar today.
Thank you so much, Sonal, for taking us through the list of stocks in the broad end of the markets that are making all the moves. Well, it's a good time to welcome Ruchit Jain from Motilal Oswal Financial Services for a quick technical check on the market. Ruchit, request you to keep it a little short today. We want your views both on the markets as well as your individual trading calls.
Yeah, hi, very good afternoon. Well, we have seen a good corrective phase during last week, but the momentum readings, if you look on the mid-cap 100 index on the lower time frame chart, then they are quite oversold. So we expect a relief rally to come in the markets, which we are witnessing now. And on the higher side, this could extend towards 24,870 to 24,900. So pullback move, too early to say whether it would be reversal, but at least a pullback move could be seen over next couple of trading sessions. Now, two stocks that we are recommending on the buy side. One is from the OMC segment, which has been doing well. The entire pack has been doing well and showing outperformance today. BPCL within the segment is looking positive, where the risk-reward ratio is still favorable. Keeping a stop loss below 322, short-term traders can go long on BPCL for potential targets around 360. And Poonawalla Philcorp is another name where we have seen a good relative outperformance in last 4-5 days. When the broader markets or the mid-cap space have seen a correction, the stocks rather they stayed sideways post the recent good volume-based breakout. So a bullish flag pattern has been formed over there. So we expect this outperformance to continue. So Poonawalla Philcorp can be bought with stop loss below 480 for potential targets around 535.
Right, Ruchit, thank you so much for joining us. With that, we'll slip into a short break now. When we come back, we'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action as well on the other side. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back. You're still tuned into Mid-Cap Radar. Let's talk about some primary market action now. Co-working space company WeWork is looking to debut on the D Street. 3,000 crore rupee IPO opens on 3rd October, ends on 7th October. My colleague Reema Tendulkar caught up with WeWork India's MD and CEO Karan Virwani. Listen in to what he had to say.
Over the last 8 years, Reema, we've been through a huge journey of growing this industry, investing into it, and today gone to become the largest operator from, definitely a financial standpoint, from a revenue and now profitability standpoint. So in the last 3 years, especially since COVID, the business has become self-sustaining. We're actually generating positive free cash and a high EBITDA that is much more than we need for our capex expansion.
So what are your operational cash flows?
So as of last year, we ended at close to about a 22% EBITDA margin. This is a fully adjusted EBITDA. At a reported level, we're almost at about 63% EBITDA margins. And roughly about 420 crores of EBITDA on a revenue of close to about 2,000 crores is what we generated, which is, I think, the highest in the industry by far, and also enough for us to sustain a very consistent growth where we're able to deliver both bottom line growth as well as capacity growth.
Okay. So what are your expansion plans right now? You're present, you've got 68 centers, 1.14 lakh desks, 8 cities. What are the growth plans?
So if you look at the commercial real estate market in India itself, has been growing at roughly a clip of almost like 8%. Last year was the peak expansion for commercial real estate, almost 77 million square foot of commercial expansion. In the last 8 years, the flexible industry itself has become from zero close to about 10%. And for incremental expansion, it's nearly 25%, which is now matching IT/ITES. So the industry itself is growing at roughly about 18-20%. We are market leaders in the industry, so our endeavor is always going to be to grow slightly over and above that from a capacity and growth standpoint. We will continue to grow faster than the industry itself, at this scale, we think that that's roughly in the range of like 20,000 desks year over year. And if demand increases, like last year, we actually added almost 27,000 desks. So if demand continues to show that there is, the requirement, we'll even accelerate that growth.
Got that. So over the last 2-3 years, you've grown at an average of 20%.
Yeah.
Will that sustain? And is there scope to expand margins above 22%?
Yeah, we are operating at already 22% EBITDA as of FY25. FY24 was closer to 20.4%. So you already see a margin expansion, even in a year of extremely high growth. And we see that there is enough potential from the existing ramp-up centers maturing, which will lead to more margin expansion. We've also unlocked few revenue streams that are extremely high margin. Our digital products business, which is growing faster than our workspace business, and that is driving a big part of why we have higher margins. Over and above that, our services business, which is higher. No, this is services that we sell over and above the workspace business. So it could be anything from F&B to parking to dedicated internet to customizing your workspace even further. This is at about 11 to 12% of our business, where the industry is roughly about 8%. So all this incremental revenue plus the mature buildings continuing to ramp up and the existing ramp-up centers, we think that there's at least 4 to 5 points of margin expansion still available in the business while growing.
Got that. So we'll come to the services business and how you can scale that up further from the current 11-12%. But you're also a premium offering. So on a like-to-like basis, how much higher would your rents be, say, in a grade A office space in Mumbai or Bangalore versus peers?
Our pricing is really a factor of where we take space more than anything else. You see that we have a huge building in the center of BKC. We're in the middle of Cyber City. We're in CBD Bangalore, in some of the best business parks like Embassy Golf Links, etc., which are always in high demand. So today our pricing averages close to about 20,000 odd rupees per desk. It's almost or slightly higher than 2 times that of the competition.
The India growth stories in Bharat,
Yeah.
the tier 2, tier 3 cities, and you're present only in 8. And you were just telling us the strategy is to go deeper in the micro markets.
Yeah.
So is that 8 cities, or are you planning to expand? And what would be the, say, 2 years, 3 years down the line?
Yeah.
How many cities would you be present in?
So we are evaluating all cities. I don't think we look at anything as tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 in that sense. We actually are looking at where is there sustained demand that allows us to grow fast and have multiple centers, and where is there quality real estate.
As of now, in your plans, there is no expansion beyond 8 cities.
No city has given us that indication yet. If you just look at, Chennai, I'll take Chennai as an example. We only entered last year after 7 years, even though it is a top tier city. And that's really because Chennai's absorption went from 2-3 million square foot a year now to almost 9 million square foot. And in the last year itself, we've opened 3 locations. We've done an extremely large deal for, global tech business also over there. So we're seeing that the market is now ready for us. So yeah, I hope that WeWork is in all cities in India soon, and that's just how much runway we have left from now.
So tell us about WeWork Global.
Yeah.
They're not classified as a promoter. What is their stake, and how much will it come down post offer for sale?
So WeWork India started off as the first ever franchise location for WeWork in the world. At the start, Embassy owned about 100% of the business, and we invested all of our own capital in actually growing the business, for the first 5-6 years. It was only in 2020 that WeWork Global came in, and actually at a time where the company really required money, took that leap of faith and actually gave us about $100 million at that point in time, which allowed us to get through COVID and, get through all of those tough times. They are not a promoter. Embassy continues to be the clear promoter, and it will be for the sustainable future. So they own currently about 22%. Post the IPO, they'll be somewhere in the mid-teens, so roughly a 30% dilution on both sides of the business. And, for the brand, for the IP, we pay about a 2.5% management fee. That gives us exclusive rights to the brand in perpetuity in India.
Well, that was Karan Virwani of WeWork India. IPO, remember, is coming soon. Well, we'll now slip into a short break. We'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, the recovery that we saw since 130 has sustained. In fact, quite a few stocks, especially a few names from the metal pack, have actually gone ahead and hit the day's highest point. Have a look at a name like Hindustan Zinc, that particular stock doing quite well. Hindustan Copper, remember we had the management on our channel earlier today. That particular stock too continues to do quite well in the session. A couple of names from the EMS pack. Remember, most of these names are under significant pressure today. Names like Keynes as well as Dixon seeing significant selling pressure today. But one of their peers, Amber Enterprises, has recovered very sharply from the day's lowest point. In fact, Amber Enterprises now trading near the day's highest point. The NBFC pack, select names, we did mention Sammaan Capital. That stock continues to surge higher in the session. And you're also seeing a name like AB Capital doing quite well. AB Capital, in fact, higher by over 3%. On the other hand, a few consumer discretionary names. Remember, quarterly updates are from both HUL as well as few other, as well as commentary coming in from some of the retailers has been slightly muted. And on the back of that, have a look at Page Industries, that particular stock down over 1% in the session today. Looking at the auto pack, look at TVS Motor, that particular stock, once again, doing quite well in the session today. But with that, it's all the time we have on this edition of Midcap Radar. Finding Alpha when we return.